so smooth.
First try.
It is impressive to get that audio hit right away on our first try, coming back from a long winter break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SHWF1 podcast. We are your American buddies talking F1. I used to say underinformed American buddies. Are we still underinformed, or can we be reasonably informed at this point?
No, we're
You may be.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm the underest informed of the three of us.
Yeah. I'll take that. I think we are we're getting more informed, but we're still your underinformed American buddies talking F1. And now we're back ready for the season in 2025. 24 races ahead of us. They start in about 10 days. We're recording this on March 4th, so we are just over 10 days away from our first race weekend. Gosh, that feels like it came up quick, doesn't it?
It does, and it kicks off.
I mean,
with
it felt
a
like forever.
late Saturday
months
night
ago.
race.
Why don't you guys just talk right over each other? That
Hey,
was good.
look,
Am
we were
I
off for like
lagging?
a few weeks.
Is this thing? Is this
This
thing
thing
on?
on?
Hello?
Hello. No, it does feel like a long time. I'm kind of ready for it to come back. We've talked about this before, that we all kind of have a tendency to unplug pretty heavily from the sport during the off season. I know a lot of people, especially in this podcast space, they really like keeping their listeners on the hook. So they really like putting out content in the off season. And we kind of made the decision of like, well, there's nothing for us to really talk about, so let's just leave it alone. Let's let the sleeping dog lie, if you will. I was thinking back about this though, because this is my fourth full season that I'm watching F1 as an adult.
That I can't believe, because I'm with you. I'm the same, right? And it feels like it has not been 4 full seasons. Like, it feels like last year was the second.
Yeah. So just for everyone's point of reference, I started watching Formula One as an adult.
Arguable.
Yes. As a grown person. Somebody I used to work with had a great saying. They said, you're only young once, but you can be immature your whole life. And I really love that. But I actually looked up the date when I started watching F1 as an adult. This was my first race. It was July 18th, 2021. It was Silverstone that year. Okay. I was on vacation in Florida, and I woke up that Sunday morning and watched the race before we headed out to head back home, driving back to Texas. So that was, call it half a season in 2021, which is a great season. And then I've gone 3 full seasons. So this is my 4th full season of F1. Do you guys remember your first time?
Drive to Survive got me into 2021. I watched that very first race. I don't remember a lot of the details, because it wasn't like I was watching it like, this is going to be a thing for me now. So I don't feel like I went into it with like the brain cells firing 100%. If I'm going to log all this away, but I do remember watching that first race. So yeah, 4 full seasons now. Crazy.
I don't remember my first race. Yeah, I don't. I think I just stumbled upon it after watching Drive to Survive, and it was in the middle of that same season, but I couldn't tell you what the first race was, because at that point in time, I knew I liked Drive to Survive. I didn't know that I was going to like F1. So I was kind of half paying attention to what was going on. Like, it was early. I might or might not have had a few drinks the night before, so I didn't want to get up and watch it live. Mine's not nearly as memorable as yours. Mine's more like the random girl versus the love of your life.
Well, and in fairness, like, I don't vividly remember this. I just have the memory of where I was, and when, I have the luxury of using Google Photos to look back and see when was I on vacation that year. I knew I was in Florida, and so I just looked back and it's like, oh, it must have been that weekend. It was Silverstone. I just looked back. I Googled. I don't have vivid memories of it. But I do remember we were in my backyard, John, maybe March or April of that year, probably watching a Rough and Rowdy, and some of us just started talking about Drive to Survive, and it wasn't me, because I hadn't watched a single episode at that point, but you guys were trying to just sink your claws in, like, here, you need this in your life. And sure enough, I watched the first 3 seasons of Drive to Survive leading up to me watching my first race in July of that year. So I had just watched the Romain Grosjean Man on Fire episode a few days before watching my first race. So I was deep in that point. I was emotionally invested.
Yeah, what an episode
I
that was.
Did you guys catch up on Drive to Survive before you started watching any races, or were you still watching DTS when you started watching races?
That's a good question. I think I was all the way caught up.
I was not. I can promise you
Yeah.
I wasn't caught up. I think I was kind of watching in the rears, as it were.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah. We have to edit that one out.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Tom, I do remember you posting to our little friend group talking about how you were started watching. You're like, I'm a little into this F1 stuff, and I was like giddy because I hadn't.
Yeah.
It's not like we had talked about this beforehand.
Yeah.
And we both had mentioned that, like, Try to Survive. Oh yeah, and then we started calling each other and talking about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like finding just finding someone randomly that like likes the same things that you do, but we'd already been friends for years, so that was
Right.
awesome. Yeah.
It's like finding someone random who likes the things that you do, and then realizing you guys went to middle school together,
right, yeah. We just become best
and
friends.
have known each other for more than 30 years. Yeah, it's great.
And then you guys went and did karate in the garage. It was awesome.
Yep.
Here's another question that just popped into my head about Drive to Survive. And I know this is not necessarily a Drive to Survive centric episode because nothing has happened in Drive to Survive in an entire year. So we have Drive to Survive coming out here in a couple of days.
Say Drive to Survive one more time.
Drive to Survive. I'll say it even faster and faster and faster. But do you remember having any F1 personalities that you really disliked after you caught up on Drive to Survive when you started watching races? So before you had like a real-time perspective, all you had was Drive to Survive.
Mm-hmm.
Who did they paint the picture of that made you be like, I don't like that guy at all?
Easy for me. I know. It's Horner.
Really?
I hate it. Yeah, I hated Horner because of what he did to Pierre. I mean,
Oh,
the way they painted it in Drive to Survive was that like they brought him up and they just did him dirty and sent him right back down. And so, and the way Horner was portrayed in the show was he was just a cocky jerk about the whole situation.
And some things never change.
Nope.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Well, I mean, he's married to a Spice Girl. What do you expect?
She's keeping him grounded.
Very much so.
She's the real stabilizing factor in their life.
Oh, Lord help
John,
us.
do you have any F1 personalities that you really disliked after catching up on Drive to Survive when you started watching?
Yeah, y'all might hate me for this one, but Lewis, I never could get on with him. Like, I don't know what it was about him that rubbed me the wrong way for like all of the episodes. It just, and then watching him drive live and all the complaints, it didn't help his case. And so I don't know. I feel like they could have painted him in a little, I don't think they did it one way or the other. It's just his personality and mine did not clash.
He was the only one that I knew before F1 too.
Yeah.
I knew that name.
I knew
so
of
I don't know
him.
if that, yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that like paints a picture either. But like if you'd heard of him and you knew that he had won several championships and then you watched Try to Survive, it does seem like, okay, so he's like F1 Jesus at this point. So yeah, I'm not gonna root for him.
It wasn't the fact that he was F1 Jesus that made me not like him. I think he just seemed disingenuous. Like the personality he tried to, it reminded me, I think we've talked about this before. He reminded me of Jimmy Fallon. Like just kind of like, I know who I need to be, but that might not be who exactly I am. And so I'm going to paint this portrayal of what I want everyone to see. And I don't think it matches who the guy really is. And that's probably what I didn't like most. Yeah, I'm going to catch some hate about the Jimmy Fallon comment, and I'm ready to defend myself, but that's fine.
I feel like Lewis is guarded.
Yeah, guarded is a really good way to put it.
Well, for me, when I was watching DTS, it was more like, I think Mercedes as a whole, like they really didn't paint them in a really positive light because they were just on such a dominant run. And it's like every little thing they were still yipping about and barking about. And it's like, you guys are just constantly winning. You really don't have anything to complain about. But it felt like in DTS that they were complaining a lot. It made me not like them. And I'll tell you, like, there was somebody else, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit this, but after I had watched those first 3 seasons of Drive to Survive, somebody that I don't want to say I actively disliked, so this is more of an honorable mention, was Sebastian Vettel.
Samesies.
I don't know
can see that.
why. Like he's such a the more I've gotten to know him through, Yeah, we're playing golf on the weekends. So make it sound like that. But the more I've gotten to know about him, makes me think like, gosh, what was I thinking? But it's incredible just how much like a television show can portray someone a certain way and make you believe that's how they are.
Vettel's an interesting one because for years he was like the Lewis Hamilton, right? He was the guy who's winning all that. Like before Lewis, it was Vettel. He had won a whole bunch of championships in a row, and he had done so in some questionable ways in certain races. And there was a lot of people that really did not like him. And then it was like by the time that we came around to start watching Drive to Survive, he had started like, I don't want to say rehabilitated his image. That made it seem like he like tried to do that. It just came out that he was like a nice guy, and so I remember the show not really portraying him either way. It wasn't like they were trying to portray him as like a really nice guy, but they weren't really trying to portray him as the villain anymore because he wasn't really that either. So you were left to sort of make up your own mind. And I didn't feel like I got a lot of information from Drive to Survive the first few seasons with him.
And maybe that's part of my feeling of just disconnection. Well, that was an exciting 10 minutes on Drive to Survive that nobody planned to talk about. Let's,
guys, do we like Drive to Survive here? Is that what's going on?
No kidding. We're kind of excited
we can
for it to come
all
out.
agree that we all love Danny Rick, though, like from the start, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's going to be an
As
episode
time
right, where he's
progressed, he might
gone
have
and
gotten
I'm going
more
to cry.
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that one. I've got box of tissues ready to go. Well, let's take a very quick break, and we'll come back and we'll touch base on the off-season talk, what has happened most recently in the news regarding F1. There's been some testing. We'll get into all that in just a minute.
Today's episode of SHW is brought to you by our new friends at Masa's Cachaça. When you're looking to make Brazil's best-known drink look to its fourth or maybe fifth best driver, Felipe Massa. With a flavor as big as Felipe's personality, you can rest assured that you'll get a generous mix of sweet and spicy, making you the hit of every carnival. Although Felipe was a runner-up, Masa's Cachaça is a winner every time. Masa's Cachaça, imported by Santos, Brazil, must be 21 to drink. Drink responsibly.
Man, I didn't know we had sponsorships all of a sudden. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
been busy.
given the amount of listeners in Brazil, we over the break were contacted by Felipe's team at Masa's Cachaça, and I didn't know what cachaça was, but apparently it's like a little liqueur mixed drink that is the mark of Brazil's pastime and something that they're known for, and they bought a little airtime. So thanks to our new sponsor at SHW.
Yes, thank you very much to our friends south of the equator. And let's get into a little bit of talk regarding, well, I want to touch on this first. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it.
Tuna time
On liveries. We had the big F175 event. Everybody reveals their car. It's a big show. I don't really care about the so-and-so was booed and this and that. Like, I want to talk more about the cars. So I have in my notes a best livery, a worst livery, and a most surprising livery. And I don't know if you guys if you can come up with that real quick on the spot here, but I'll go first since I have my notes written down.
Okay.
I'll start with most surprising.
Okay.
I almost hate to do this, but I'm going to put Sauber here. I kind of like the fade.
Yeah.
The gradient from black to green. I didn't like the sharp edges last year and the clean lines. This year, it almost kind of just the way they painted it, it moves the needle a little bit. So I'm going to say that's most surprising because I was expecting nothing from them and I got a little bit of something.
I don't hate
You'll have a lot of time to look at it. Running in the
when they're crashing into other cars. Yeah. And so now my best livery, and I know a lot of people are talking about this, so this shouldn't be a big surprise. I'm going to go with Racing Bulls.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. The white with the accents, it pops and it looks good. I'm going to put Racing Bulls at the top. My worst livery, it's Ferrari.
Yeah.
Really?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Okay.
The red is way too dark, and that big white stripe across the top with the HP on it does nothing for me. It just looks god awful.
Yeah, HP paid a lot of money for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Tom. So when I was first looking at these, the ones that jumped out at me or the things that jumped out at me. So Racing Bulls look great. Sauber is at least interesting, right? Like you said, moves the needle. Williams somehow looks more like the battery is a battery. I mean, they were there for a while, but I don't know how that could be more battery like. I don't, the Alpine and the pink is never going to be a thing for me, but I
That
think
looks
that,
good.
yeah, the
I
color
don't
scheme
mind
this year, the
that.
way they set it up, I think looks okay.
This is a good
I
look for
like
them
it.
this year.
Right.
Way better than last year.
Right. And
Yeah.
then you look at like Ferrari, like I don't like the darker red. I like the Ferrari red, not this red.
Mhm.
It's too dark.
Red Bull just looks like a Red Bull, super boring, same old thing year in and year out.
Classic look of the Red
Yep.
Bull.
McLaren is basically the same. So there's nobody that like looks bad. I would say that Haas is probably just like
That looks good. The
Yeah, I
changes they
mean-
made this year, that looks good.
I think it looks good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody looks bad. I do think that this year, at least, there's nobody that you look at and go, "What were you doing?" I think probably the worst probably is just maybe it's just Williams. Maybe.
Williams just seems very sterile.
Yeah, I really like the blue. The blue itself, the color.
The color
is
blue is
awesome,
good, yeah.
right? Yeah, but the
Yeah.
rest of it is very boring.
Mm-hmm. It's drab.
Yeah.
Well,
John,
the
any
English
thoughts
have
on
never
liveries?
been known to be just off the wall with the way they attack things. I am actually very impressed with Haas. That battleship gray with the black and the red
Mm.
looks
Mhm.
good to me. Like, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a decent car this year, but the livery looks great. The Racing Bulls, I think, is spot on. I'm with you on Sauber. That fade looks pretty cool.
It
Like, it's
looks
very
good, right?
90s,
Yeah.
but I like it. I do not like McLaren. There's too much going on right there. It looks like a video game.
don't like them either.
Yeah, I don't like
Yikes.
McLaren, and I don't like Red Bull because Red Bull didn't make enough changes. And so I'd have to say McLaren's down at the bottom of mine, but Haas is at the top, and everybody else kind of falls good.
It's weird. Like the top 4 teams in
Have the
the
worst
rank
liveries?
have the 4 worst liveries.
Yeah.
It's because they don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just going to be
Fair.
fast, and we don't
That's
care
fair.
what we look like. So didn't waste a lot of
Yeah.
marketing dollars on that.
We didn't talk about Mercedes though. Do you like Mercedes?
Mercedes looks mean. I'm down
Yeah.
with that black and just the hint
I-
of the
me too,
seafoam green
right?
coming through.
looks
Yeah,
good.
that looks mean.
Yeah.
It does.
Don't make me like you, Mercedes. Don't do it. Yeah.
Don't be tricked, Brady.
So that F175 event was pretty cool. I watched some of it live. I mainly just looked up clips afterwards. I didn't feel like I missed a whole lot by not
A little
watching
bit
it
of
live.
that went a long way.
It seems like it would have been a bit of a whipping to be sitting in the crowd for that entire thing.
Yep.
But they did have a pretty good MC, I hear. He was like cracking jokes about people and kind of like a, Oscars or Golden Globes type of host. It seemed like he was having good fun.
It's an interesting base to build off of. I wonder what they do next year, if it's more of just the same. It felt like it needed something else, and maybe it is just like more celebrities or something. I don't know. I don't really want a show that goes on for like 9 hours.
Mm-mm.
But maybe it needs something in between each of the liveries a little bit more. I
Yeah,
don't
what
know.
could we bring to that? Pitbull. We could bring Pitbull.
Just do
heard
whatever
he's
you would
free.
do in Miami, but do it
Yeah.
there. Or you could just shorten it to an hour and just make it all really good stuff instead of making a 3-hour long. All of those award shows there are too long. Nobody wants to sit there for 3 and 4 hours and listen to them.
Here's my idea. Put all 10 cars on the stage and then just reveal them all at once, and the show's over in 5 minutes.
Just live stream it. Don't have
Yeah.
everybody show up. Just live stream and have cranes just yank the tarps off.
Yeah. And like really fast too, not like
Yeah.
a slow reveal, just,
I mean-
just go.
Yeah, have drones with videos. Like nobody needs to be there. You can really cut back on your labor. The cost of doing this would go way down, and you'd still
Mhm.
get the same response.
Brady's the kind of guy that's like, don't show up to the bedroom in lingerie. It doesn't like just let's get down
Come
to
on, let's go.
business.
Yeah.
Little bit of news that came out maybe a few days ago or a week ago. I know we've been trying to get this on the calendar to talk for a while, but officially, I believe they've agreed that there will be a minimum mandatory 2 pit stops during Monaco this year.
They have.
It's good.
Brady, fill us in on your thoughts.
I mean, I'm glad they're trying something. Will it work? I don't know. I mean, Monaco is just such a snore fest that like any change is probably a good change at this point. Like it can't be worse than what we've had the last few years. So
Would they still make it 2 mandatory pit stops if there is wet weather?
I don't believe so. I might have read that wrong. I thought if it's wet weather that it's I don't maybe it's none. But I mean you can't make it to the end on one set of tires, so that's just not going to happen.
Have you driven around Monaco?
I mean,
Could
fair
you?
enough.
I mean, maybe we could do it on one side.
I'm an expert. Yeah.
That's true. Oh, speaking of, this is some Monaco news and some personal news. So I have booked my family a trip this summer. We will be gallivanting around Europe, and we will be spending 2 nights in the south of France.
No kidding.
Yeah. And so I think, cue the
You're gonna get like a
Vivaldi.
little. Are you gonna get one of the little like French mopeds and then like just go around like
We're-
a Monaco track?
Maybe. We're about 45 minutes on the train away from Monaco where we're staying, but I am going to make it a priority to go over there. And I mean, when else am I going to get the chance to go
Yeah.
over there?
Yeah,
It'll be in
with you.
July, so the race will have been over for over a month, but I can still go see the entire track.
That's going to be
And
really
I think
cool.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Sweet.
I'm wondering if they would be better off instead of doing a mandatory 2-stop, just doing mandatory rain, whether it's natural or produced.
Yeah, they can get
'Cause
giant
those-
sprinklers and just hook them up to the ocean. Just pump them from there.
Exactly. There's
I
water
feel like we talked
everywhere.
about this too,
Just-
right? Like
The
how
Mediterranean
Monaco
Sea.
goes
I'm sorry,
from.
it is not the ocean. It is Mediterranean Sea. Sorry, correcting myself.
I like how that race goes from the worst race to the best race if it's raining, right? Like
Yep.
it's
Especially like changing conditions. If it
Yeah,
starts
oh,
dry
yeah.
and becomes wet or vice versa, like then it's wild and awesome.
Can we do that? Is this possible? Can we put rain machines all the way around the track?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. They're
Brady,
just
it's
called-
2025.
Yeah.
I
I mean, we
come
have
on.
the technology to do this.
They're just called sprinklers. I have them in my front yard. Like,
Do you know how
it's not very
many
hard.
You know how many times I'm watching a movie, and I don't watch movies very often. When I do, and I see it's raining during a scene in the movie, but there's
Mhm.
sunshine outside, I'm thinking to myself, like, who are you trying to fool, buddy? Like, I see the sun, and it's pouring rain. Like, this does not make sense. We could do the same thing at Monaco. It can be done.
Let's do it.
Instead of a soundstage in Hollywood, we're doing it on the French Riviera. And it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
going
like
to
the
be
moon
perfect.
landing all over again.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go.
First, the strong opinions about Jimmy Fallon. Now, moon landing conspiracies.
Yep.
Boy, have I missed you, John.
Yeah.
No, and some other personal news. This has nothing to do with Monaco or 2 stops or anything like that. But this is going to absolutely break your heart, Brady.
I'm on pins and needles.
I have decided to sell my racing rig.
What?
What?
What is this
No,
about?
no more McLaren buddies? No more Ferrari buddies? Oh my goodness.
I haven't sat down in the chair in just about a year.
Yeah.
And I have someone who is readily available with cash in hand who wants to sample the goods, if you will.
Fair enough.
Now, the plus side of this. So the downside is I'm selling my racing rig. The plus side
Okay.
is I get cash money for it.
Okay.
Upgrade.
But what do I get out of it?
Also, I'm selling it to my daughter's boyfriend who lives like right around the corner.
Oh,
So-
so you're just gonna go visit it.
I still might have
Yeah.
access to it at times, from time to time, let's call it.
He's gonna get home from school or whatever his job, and you, Tom, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Look,
Hey, buddy.
I'm not here to hassle you, but
I'm just
I'm
sitting
gonna-
on his
I'm gonna
porch.
need access, I'm gonna need access to that racing rig.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break everyone's heart who just anticipates me sharing my wheel knowledge regarding my.
So does that mean
my
that it's all
experience.
on me now for that?
Oh, it's
I
all on
have
you.
to-
Oh yeah.
God,
We look to
God.
you for guidance. Yep.
All right.
Brady is
I
now
got
the
it.
expert on the ground. And we look to you for all guidance and wisdom, sir.
Okay, let's take another little tiny quick break, and we'll come back and wrap this sucker up. We don't have predictions or anything like that this episode. We're going to do that next time, and really lean into our season predictions and then our first race predictions come next time. But we do have a little more content for you after this. Might even have a little quiz for you for John and Brady. We'll see how they do. So before we get into our little quiz for John and Brady, they have done some testing. We have had some cars on track. And so, Brady, why don't you take it away with your thoughts and opinions on what you observed from testing?
There's only one that I really wanted to talk about to keep this kind of short, where I was kind of surprised. So I don't know about you guys, but the standout to me was how well Williams performed. It was particularly Carlos. Carlos really kind of like lit up the timing board. But then right as it got done, he had an interview where he said, well, we're not going to be on the podium this year. We won't even be top 5 at any point this year. We're just working towards like the next year and the year after that. And after looking at what the car did, I'm kind of surprised to say that you don't think that you couldn't get a top 5. So I don't know if that just makes me even feel more uninformed. Like, I don't understand how I can look at the timing boards and be like, but you put up the fastest lap several times. So why do you think your car is not competitive?
I mean, other than the fact that testing might not exactly mean much because you don't know what conditions people are running under.
Right.
But
doesn't that mean that like I can't then be like, if I look at testing and I say, I think Williams did well, and Carlos is like, yeah, we did crap. Okay, well then my opinion doesn't mean anything, and who knows what testing means.
But don't they do that after every, like after all qualifying and after all testing and after, like, they're always, nobody ever comes back and it's like, oh, the car is really running well today and we're gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody downplays it because it's so much easier to say like, I don't think we're gonna do well, and then to come out and have a blowout season than to go, we're
That's
gonna
fair.
do really well, and then you eat crow here in about 3 months.
Well, and almost everyone will talk about how they anticipate a slow start to the season because the development isn't finished. It's not the package they really want. They know what's ahead of them. So they're starting weaker than they think they'll be. But you also have the proof that some teams have the ability to strongly develop their car during the season and other teams don't. And so maybe that's what his feeling is that like, okay, we might have looked good today, but I know that we can't keep up with the other folks who are developing stronger and at a faster pace.
I don't necessarily expect Williams to suddenly like leapfrog up to the top, but like,
it'd be cool to see him regularly in the points though.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if like now that, if Red Bull is maybe the 4th best team, maybe, I mean, we'll see. Does Williams leapfrog all the way up? And it's like, and I mean, the other team that looked a little bit better too is Alpine. So is Alpine and Williams now the new midfield and like nipping at the heels of Red Bull rather than Aston Martin? Like Aston Martin looked bad. And I mean, I know Newey's got to get his hands on that car, but maybe this is just the too early to predict kind of thing, but I would expect Williams to be in that midfield and competing for points. I mean, that's what it looked like.
Yeah. And I mean, you can put some stock in testing because like 2 years ago during testing, we're like, dang, Aston Martin's got something. And they came right out of the gate and started hitting podiums. And last year, I felt like the surprise team from last year was 2 and they were in the bottom. It was like, gosh, that Alpine looks like garbage and that Sauber looks like garbage. We know it's almost like you knew that from the start.
Yep.
And people were kind of surprised and kind of talking about the quality and the quantity of testing that was done by Haas. And they came out and started scoring points pretty regularly. So you can take some stock from testing. I just don't know how much.
Yeah, the testing is a little inconsistent to really lay too much on it. So when you look over the 3 days, like day 2, for example, McLaren was like 13th and 14th fastest on the day that Carlos was 1. But you can say like Lance Stroll
That's pretty
was 6th.
indicative of the truth. Yeah.
Right. So like
Lance Stroll 6th.
Yeah, Lance Stroll 6th. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, I don't think we always know what they're testing. We're looking at fastest lap, but they might not be trying to test for fastest lap. They might be trying to test for drag and grip and, a bunch of other things that don't necessarily indicate that they're going to have the fastest lap. They're just making changes to the car. So if somebody comes out there and just kills it like Carlos, it says they have the capability of doing one really good lap. Can they do 20 or 30 or 40? I don't think Williams can do that yet, but they can do one. So qualifying might be a little bit more interesting on the first few races, but I think once the cars get out there on track, they're pretty much going to fall to order.
It feels like there's no way that you can go into to testing and come out like, okay, they're clearly going to win this year.
Yeah.
But you can go into testing and come out and go, okay, your car is dog crap.
You're crap.
Because like Sauber, we know is going to be like at the very back.
Yeah.
And that's the same
pretty
thing that
much.
happened to Alpine last year. So
Yeah.
Well, and even the drivers too. Like we've got so many rookie guys coming up that even though the car might be competitive, I don't know necessarily that they're going to get everything out of it.
That leads me into the little quiz that I've prepared for you guys.
I'm nervous.
Oh, it's going to be all right. I have now, in fairness, this is lengthy. I have 6 questions for each of you.
For each.
Okay.
So we're going
So
12 questions.
You have a
total.
maximum score of 6. So I'm going to start with you, John. This is how well you've been keeping up in the off season. This is kind of like an off season version of, you know how I know you're an idiot? That's what we'll call this game.
And the goal is to get the least amount of points, correct? This is like golf?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally like golf.
Okay.
So, John, this is okay. I'm going to serve up a bit of a softball here at the beginning. What role does Valtteri Bottas have in F1 this season?
Valtteri is a reserve driver for a team. I don't know. What does he
You're
have?
so close.
Is he not reserve? Is he marketing?
No, you had reserve, but not
Okay.
just a team, but what team?
For Mercedes. Yeah, he's
Yes.
driving Mercedes. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I remember him saying it feels good to be home.
Mm-hmm. All right. Brady,
Yep.
put on your spelling bee hat.
Oh my God. You kidding me?
How do you spell the names of the 2 drivers for Racing Bulls?
So Yuki. You want last names?
Spell, please.
Okay.
Without
Sonoda, so
looking it up.
Tsunda? Sonoda? Sunoda, right? I think no, wait. TSUNODA? I don't know.
Yes,
I don't
that's
know.
correct.
Okay.
ODA.
All right. Okay,
ODA.
got it. And then Hadjar. Oh my God. Hadjar?
Yeah. First name?
Isaac.
Spell
2
it.
S's?
Sick.
ISSAC, I think. Just I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to his first name.
ISACK.
AC. Jesus. All right.
Isaac.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. All right, John, you're up 1-0. Who is team principal for Aston Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Brady, are you shaking your head like you know this? Or
Hell
are you-
no.
It is
I can picture him.
Jack Mehoff.
Incorrect. It used to be, and that's funny you say that because his name, the guy who was team principal last year, his name was Mike Crack. And I'm not making that up. But he was replaced this season by Andy Cowell. So sorry.
Oh, that's right. No.
Yeah. Brady,
Mm,
if a rookie is
failure.
considered a new driver to start a full season, so I know there are some drivers who have raced before, but they haven't started a full season.
okay.
How many rookies will start the 2025 F1 season?
Okay. So we've got on Red Bull, we've got 1. On McLaren, we've got 0. On Mercedes, we've got 1. On Ferrari, we've got none. McLaren, none. So it's 2. Hadjar is 3. 2 at Haas, so that's 5. Now I'm starting to draw a blank of how many I already said. I don't know. I'm gonna go with 7.
Oh, so
7
close.
is close, but you overshot by 1.
all right,
You had it convinced in your mind that there were 2 at Haas, but Esteban Ocon has in
Yeah,
fact
that's
raced
right, yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So I apologize,
much
Brady.
pressure.
You are
Yeah.
0 for 2.
Mm-hmm.
John,
Yes.
there are 2 teams that have all new driver lineups this season. They have not retained any drivers. What are the teams and who are the drivers?
Williams has all new drivers.
How come the question that you
Incorrect.
asked John, I know?
Really?
Williams is not correct
All right. Racing Bulls.
because Alex Albon has been at Williams for the last couple of years.
Oh, that's right.
And Yuki
And
Tsunoda has been
Yuki
at
Tsunoda's
Racing
at
Bulls
Racing
for
Bulls.
a couple of years now.
Jesus.
You're falling apart here.
You're
It's gotta
sure
be
I can't
Haas
steal?
then.
Brady, go in for the steal.
Can I
Go
steal?
ahead.
Haas
Okay.
is one of them.
So Haas is one of them. Yep.
Yes.
So you've got Ali and Esteban, and then Sauber's got Bortoletto and Hulkenberg.
Correct.
Hulkenberg.
Who can?
Brady for the steal. That doesn't count.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, Brady, what role does Zhou Guan Yu have in F1 this season?
He has a role.
He does.
Does
Or is it a trick question?
he like throw the bags onto the airplane for?
Is a baggage handler?
he's a thrower. I have
goodness.
no idea.
John?
I'm with Brady. I had no idea he was still involved in F1.
He's a reserve driver at Ferrari.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Learn something new every day.
All right. John, what number does Lance Stroll race under? What number is on his car? This is a bit obscure. I'm not being very fair.
21.
Ooh.
It's close.
Brady?
I
You just looked it up.
can see
I
you
can't say
staring
that I
at your
didn't.
computer.
But yeah, I'm just gonna say yeah. But since the points are made up and don't matter, then it's the number 18.
Yes, it's number 18. Of
Ew.
course. You idiot. All right.
Like anybody
Brady,
could know that.
Yeah.
2 teams have retained their exact same driver lineup this season. Who are the teams and the drivers?
So McLaren has Oscar and Lando, and what's the other team as I go to? Aston with Lance and our boy
Yeah, there you go.
Fernando.
Fernando
There you go.
Alonso.
Speaking of, John, how old is Fernando Alonso?
43.
Yes, buddy. Way to just knock that one out of the park.
We've talked about him enough that I remember his age.
Mhm. Brady,
Mm-hmm.
how many points did Sauber score in 2024?
0.
Incorrect.
No.
Really?
They scored.
John?
Sauber scored 6 points?
Oh, that's
Incorrect.
It was under 10.
it was
it had to be under 10.
You're right. It
Jo-
was no,
Joe in Abu
Joe
Dhabi.
did get what did he get? 1 point or 2?
I
Was
believe.
it 1?
Oh, it's a good question.
Let's see.
I like how Tom asked me that question and didn't know the answer because
I knew it wasn't 0. I knew it wasn't 0.
Points.
So
They scored 4 points.
Yeah, Joe.
Wow. All right.
Okay, last questions. This week, Drive to Survive will release season number what?
6.
Incorrect. Brady, for the steal and the win.
It is season 7.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, before we go, John, I would have said 6 also. But since you got
Okay.
it wrong, I had a 50-50 shot.
I was trying to
Pretty
count
sure.
them up in my head, and apparently I'm not good at counting.
All right, that was my little quiz. You're welcome.
That's a good quiz, Tom. I
Yeah.
like it.
You are welcome. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
Nah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We will catch you next week when we talk about our season predictions, talk a little bit about Drive to Survive season. What, John?
7.
Correct. Well, thank you very much. We're going to wrap it up and we'll talk to you next time. See you boys next week.